this practical, or you can say the second practical, I will demonstrate you how to check the quality of the DNA and quantity of DNA. And the third part, how to use DNA for downstream processing. And that will be related to the PCR application for amplification of different fragments of DNA. So there will be, you can say, three part of this practical, or you can say three sub-practicals for each one of these steps. So we have the pipette, and there are 4 different types of pipettes in our lab here. One is maximum volume will be 1 ml. You can suck with this pipette. The another one is with the 200 microliter, and third one is the 100 microliter, and the fourth one, it has capacity up to 50 microliter. So it ranges from 5 to 50 microliter. So in extraction of DNA, when we are using 1 ml of the blood, so we need these pipettes. Now, to use these pipettes, you need the tips. So there are 3 different types of tips: blue, this big one, yellow, and white. The blue tips you can suck up to 1 ml, and in the yellow tips you can take volume up to 200 microliter, and in the white tips you can take volume up to 10 microliter. So remember, when you are using multiple samples, then for each sample you will use the different tube, and also change the tip for every time you take the blood from the tube, from each one of the tube. So we are going to take, as we have the same sample, just one, so we will run its duplicate. So there will be 2 samples, 2 duplicates for 1 sample. So you can pipette the sample 1-2 times so that the blood is completely mixed and all the cells they are mixed. Alright, so this is one and this is the second duplicate. Here with the blood. So blood was previously stored in the freezer at -20 degrees Celsius and taken from the goat during the feed visit last year. Ideally, you should be using the fresh blood to get the good quality and quantity of the DNA. But in this case, we are available with this blood, so we will be using the old blood. So let's see what we get with this type of. Okay. So according to the protocol which I have already shared with you, you are going to take 1 ml of the blood and you will add ammonium chloride, and in that protocol I have given you the composition of the ammonium chloride solution, and you will use 2 ml, that is the double to the amount of the blood. If you use 1 ml of the blood, then you will use 2 ml of the solution. So we have already prepared solution, this one. So this is the ammonium chloride with all other added chemicals in it. So what this solution will do, this will basically break up the red blood cells, RBCs. So we know that in mammals there is no DNA in the RBCs, or there is no nucleus, so there is no DNA. So DNA is present in the white blood cell. So we will get separate the white blood cells from the RBCs by breaking them. Okay. So add 2 ml of the ammonium chloride solution. Okay, so here we go. And be careful that your tip should not be touching the surface of the tube, because this may cause a cross contamination in your sample. So avoid to touch the tubes. So now you have to vortex these samples to thoroughly mix, and here is the vortex machine. Okay, all right. Okay, and in next step you will centrifuge it. You see your protocol for 5 minutes at 2690 RPM. And in our lab we just use the 5000 RPM. So this is the machine which is having the rotor which can handle the 10 microliter tube, 10 ml tube. Okay. So we have put on the machine. Here you can see the lid, and if you press this lid, the lid will open. So on this LCD of the machine, you can check the RPM. Here the first button is for RPM or RCF. So we will go for the RPM. It is blinking, and you can adjust the RPM to 5000. You can see it is reducing in number, and we will use the 5000 RPM, and then you press store. No, there is, this means we have to close the lid before we can program the machine. So now you can give the 5000 figure in RPM. Okay, so store it, and it will stop blinking. It means the machine have stored this information in the program. Okay, then is the acceleration or deceleration. That means the speed in which the rotor will move to reach to the maximum speed, and the speed it will stop, or it will reduce the speed during stopping of the machine, the rate of that. So normally we will use the higher number. That means the machine will go to the maximum speed slowly, and then after completing the cycle it will come to the 0 point slowly. Because if you don't follow this instruction, your rotor could be broken or your tube could be broken, and because of that it could be damaging for the machine. So we can increase this number to the 9, maximum to the 9. Likewise deceleration, again 9. So again you press the store, and this information is stored. Then is the temperature. So as this machine is basically a refrigerated machine, so we will extract the DNA on the room temperature. So room temperature means 25. So you can see it's again blinking the temperature, and we will go to the 25 and then store. And this program is again it will be it is stored. Now is the time, for how long you want to run the machine, and in this case we will run it for 5 minutes. So you have to adjust the time again to the 5 minutes. Here we go. You again store and the program is stored. So this is our program which we have set on this machine. Now you can open the lid and yes, it is stored now. Okay, open the lid. Now here you will have to take care. Your sample must be in balance. If your samples are not in balance, they can break up and it will be really damaging for the machine. So I put this sample on one side and I leave two columns empty in each side, and the just opposite to that one another sample. So if you have 6 samples, then you don't have any problem. Or you can use this by default, the small one. Or in other words, we can just take out this small you can say these things outside. These are basically for 50 ml tubes, and this is the smaller, the medium type hole is basically for the 10 ml tube, and there is another you can see underneath it, and this is for the 5 ml. So make sure you are using the accurate hole, number one, that your samples are just opposite to each other, because if they are in balance, your machine will keep intact. Okay, now we'll close the machine and then we'll run to centrifuge these samples. We hope that some of the RBCs, they should be broken. Okay, machine is closed and here's the start button and it will be start working. Now, if during running of the machine you feel any problem, there is some sound inside the machine, then immediately press the stop button and make sure that everything is right in position. Because if you don't do it, it will make more damage to the machine. So, you can hear the normal sound of the machine. There is no particular sound. If you run it on the high RPM, it would have more sound of the rotor. And if other than that any other sound, that means there is something wrong inside the cabin. And for that you have to immediately stop the machine. And we will wait for the 5 minutes. Now you can see it have started the counting for the time. इसमें तो गलती होगी मैडम. Okay, so there are last 20 seconds for this cycle. So once machine is finished with this cycle, it will give us sound. That means the machine has stopped. Okay, time is 0. So you can see it is reducing the RPM. Here comes the sound. That means machine is completed with this cycle. So you take out your samples. See, on one side of the machine there are cells. So these are basically white blood cells. You can see. So still there are RBCs in these cells. So we will carefully drain the liquid part of that. So you can see the cells on the side of the tube. Okay. All right. So in this case you have to be very, very careful that your lids, they are not exchanged among the tubes, because sometimes the lids can also be source of contamination in the samples. So if the samples are cross-contaminated, then in fact you might be having just one sample and its DNA profile would be same. Now second time we will add 3 ml of the ammonium chloride solution. So in first step we added just double to the blood volume, and second time 3 times to the blood volume. Alright. So be careful with the lid, that you are fixing the same lid on the tube with which you started. Okay, now you can see there is a less red color. That means cells, RBCs are broken down. And again we will mix it through vortexing. Make sure there is no cell on the side wall and they are thoroughly in a uniform liquid. The pellet is completely dissolved. Alright, so put this off and repeat this process. Remember to cover it with the lid to avoid any accident with the machine. Okay, we will repeat this step again for another. Okay, we drain the liquid and we have cells with us. But you can see still these cells are red. That means we need to repeat this step. The cells are red because this is the old sample. If you use the fresh sample, then in couple of times the cells would be cleaned. But if you use old samples, then it will take more time to clean the cells. If they are not completely clean, then your next step will be affected by this. So make sure the cells are completely clear and they will be off-white in color after clearing. Okay. Go. So again we have to repeat the vortex to thoroughly mix the cells with the solution. These must be thoroughly mixed. You can see a flake of cells still in this. That should be broken. Yeah. You can see the flake is there. It should be completely broken. Yeah, still there is a flake. clear. Okay, it's clear. Stop the water and repeat the centrifuge process. Finish the lid. Okay, you can see the liquid is clear, but still there is a red tape in these cells. So this is probably because these are the old cells, and we can just try it once more if the cells would be more clear. So add the ammonium chloride 3 ml. And we can try once more to make the cells clear. Okay, we can create the centrifuge. So you can see in this tube, the cells basically are still reddish, but the liquid is clear. So we will try to proceed with the sample. Let's see what we get at the end of it. Okay. So cells are there in the tube. Now, according to the protocol, we have to add 300 microliter of the DNA extraction buffer. Not this one. So this is the DNA extraction buffer. Already included in the lab. And we need to add 300 microns. So this time we will change the tip. we need to add protein scale 10 mg per ml 50 micron. Just take this pipette back to 1000 1 ml and keep it in this tank. We have 50 microliter pipette. We can use this pipette to add protein scale enzyme, and the protein scale will basically digest the protein in the cells. So this is the protein scale. So it is advised to pipette it for a few times so that it is mixed thoroughly. We can add on the side one, and we add on the side one, we discard the tip for the next one. Okay. So that's the protein scale. Always keep it at -20. And then the next step, vortex and mix it well. Mix these samples. Seems to be clear now. Okay, we add 20 microliter SDS to each tube. This is the SDS, and you are supposed to prepare fresh every time. So you can see the date 8/4/20, and every time you use it, it should be fresh one. Once you have prepared, you can use it for a couple of days. But not more than that. Okay. Once more vortex is present so that everything is mixed up. And we can put it 65 degrees Celsius. So here we have the incubator that is running at 65 degrees Celsius, and you will put these two overnight in this incubator, and Next morning we'll take out these samples and we can freeze them at -20 in the freezer, or we can start the next process for the extraction of the DNA. So that's for the step 1 for day 1. So make sure that every fiber is back to the maximum before you put in the rag. Alright, this one is not. Okay. And close this one. You can use paraffin to seal your chemicals. Remember to clean the working area. Cover all these holes and keep everything in place and clean the area. And remember to put the machine off. You can use ethanol, just have a mild spray and will clean with the tissue. So this is a public property and everyone is supposed to take care of it, so that next generations can use this machine. It is a very expensive machine and every responsible person should always take care of these machines. Here we go, close the lid and yeah, it's closed, and here is its off button. Put it off and plug is also off. Now you can write on the logbook of this machine that you have used. Today is 8/4/20 and your name, Dr. Moin, and your timing. We started at 2:30 and now it's 4:40 p.m. and then it's my signature that I have used this machine. Similarly, I also use the Motex and I will write down there the details. It is the 8/4/20, my name, and time is 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. So always remember to fill the logbook of every machine which you have used and keep everything in your working place clean. Thank you very much for the